Okay, so from here, we're going to roll for an encounter. We get an encounter on a 1 or 2. A 1. Okay, so this is our first encounter in this dungeon. So we'll see how it goes. This is a D66 table. This is largely the same. I did make some changes from the original encounter table for exploring castles. But basically I got rid of the mummified giant, which has a different role now, the new rules, and added an eater of the undead, which I'll go over if we encounter him. But so red is first. Oh man, 66. Okay, so we encounter an eater of the undead. Rad. So now an eater of the undead is a monster that you might fight, but he's also could conceivably be an ally. So it's kind of lucky for us in that we don't necessarily have to fight him, but we should roll his mean. Unfortunately, I did not put the mean. I did not print out what their mean is. So I'm going to try to look it up on my computer real quick. Let's see. Okay, I finally found it. All right, so 4. He's famished. All right, so he's famished. He would help us if we could tell him, since he's eater of the undead, he could help us if we could tell him where there was a ghost or some other sort of undead. But we've not encountered anything like that. Excuse me. So we'll just put a bookmark there. Maybe we can find him again. I'll just draw a little eater over here. Okay, so we're here. We're going to move out of this room. 1, 2, 3. Gonna get a new die. Blues first. 55. So this is another room, and there's room type 5, which looks like this. So let's see if we have enough room to draw this thing. Sort of. Four, 5, 6. Okay. So we're in this room now. Let's see what type of room it is. I'm just gonna roll 1d6. It's a 3, which is a room feature, which means it's just a regular room. So let's see what its room feature is. Yellow's first in this roll. 56. Rays of sunlight. So rays of sunlight are filtering in through this room. Now I could search this room, and I might as well because that'll end my turn. But we don't have any particular advantage to searching it. So yellow is going to be first for this roll. 45. Let's see if that equals anything. A clue. So that's cool. Clues are meta currencies. So I'm going to fill in this little square here for clue counter. So we found a clue. So they don't take up any inventory, but it's just a bit of knowledge that we might be able to use later to trade in, so to speak, for finding something. So I mean, again, it's a meta currency. You can think of it as, depending on what we might trade it in for, which could be a key or a way to avoid a monster, or a secret passage, or other things. We can kind of like fill in the blanks of what the clue might have been, so we can kind of collect clues as we go along. Anyways, so we found a clue. Now we have to roll for an encounter. 4, no encounter. So I'm going to go to the left here. 1, 2, 3. Blue's going to be first this time. Ooh, 66. So this is going to be a room again. And it's going to be weird shaped like this, but you'll see it has like 5 total exits, including the one that you come in on. So let's put it like, I don't know. Up's not going to help us any. Let's put it like this, and we'll try to figure out where to put the extra exit. And we'll see this one kind of hooks up to the left over here like this. But we probably won't go that way anyways. So we moved 3, then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what kind of room is this? It's a special room. Okay, so special feature. So let's find out what that is. Special feature table. It's a D66. We'll roll. Blue is first. 25. Now, I forgot that I had changed this. But let's just go with this for now anyways, because we're just testing. But basically I had made like 3 tiers. And some tiers, the first tier have certain types of rooms, and the second tier have certain types of rooms. The third tier has the most challenging rooms, but the most reward as well. But we're not gonna worry about that right now. We'll say we found a pool room. Pool rooms are cool. I think that would be tier 2. Condensation from the walls and ceiling have collected in a depression in the center of the room, forming a pool. An immaculate hand rises from the pool and gives you a little wave. You may give the pool a wide berth, but should you choose to interact, roll on this table. So if you remember, like my last, or if you've seen rather my last complete revision of Exploring Castles, you may recognize this room. Basically, for that iteration, I did 36 special rooms. For the current iteration, I knocked that down to 21. So I got rid of 15 rooms. not quite arbitrarily, but there was a method to my winnowing process, but pool room was one of the ones that made it. Also, I like drastically cut down on the description so that they're only like a couple sentences long, so as to like save space. I still ended up with, I think, a dozen pages worth of these rooms just because of tables and things. Now let's look at the table here. 1, it gives you an enchanted weapon. 2, it gives you a key or a clue. 3 to 4 gives you a hearty handshake. 5, it steals from you. And 6, it attempts to drag you under the water. So 1 through 4 is all either good or neutral. 5 and 6 are obviously bad. So our odds are 2/3 versus 1/3 of getting something good. Let's draw that pool. I don't know, let's see. Sort of. We'll just draw like a little oval here. And then little hand. And then it's formed from condensation. So let's draw it all. Okay. So, I don't know, what do you think? Should we go for it? Let's see what happens. So we're going to roll this blue die. See what happens when we step up close to the pool. 2. It gives you a key, roll 1 to 3, or a clue, roll 4 to 6. So, not an enchanted weapon, but it's not trying to kill us. So let's roll. 2. We got a key. Now keys, I'll put that here. Keys can be useful. They will automatically open a locked door. They will also, for certain trapped items, now we only encountered so far on our trip, we've only encountered one trapped piece of furniture to date, which was this bed. Now, if we encounter like like a chest or an armoire or something, we can use a key to potentially open it on a roll of 1 or 2. And I may change that. Roll of 1 or 2 seems a little bit, like you have a key and then you can only sort of open things. I may change that. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. But for the time being, the rule is on a roll of 1 or 2, you could conceivably completely disarm a trap. So some of these things are pretty heavily trapped, and in other words, there's a really good chance that you might spring something. I don't know if you remember the basically, like, so this bed had a trap probability of 1. So like we would roll on a d6, and if we get anything but a 1, then we've successfully avoided the trap. So like some of them might go up to a 4. So we would have to roll a 5 or a 6 in order to avoid the trap. So that's sort of my way of dealing, like what I worked out for dealing kind of like with thieves skills. You give things a trap probability, and then you can roll to see whether or not you can overcome that. So it's not a skill roll, but you might be able to find a key that will give you at least a chance to disarm the trap. So we found a key. Now we still have to roll for an encounter, so let's do that. We'll roll this yellow die, a 3, no encounter. Let's go here. So we've actually, now with castles, like the point might be to like kind of explore enough so you find some cool stuff and then get the heck out of there, because they're dangerous. And I think we found a decent amount of cool stuff. So if I were running this as a regular game, I would probably want to get out of here now. Now, a key I can use in this same castle. A clue, I think the rule I come up with is that they get reset every time you leave. Although I know for certain that they only apply to the same castle, and perhaps keys too. So, but I haven't quite decided if they should be reset or not. That's still something I'm thinking about. Certainly, you couldn't explore a different castle and use your same use your same clue meta currency. Keys might be a different matter. Haven't fully decided, but I think just for the time being, we'll say that keys belong to the castle to which you found them, and clues may or may not reset when you leave and return. But for now, let's say we're just gonna come down this way. So 1, 2, 3. So I went diagonal there, and then now we'll roll for a new area. Blue first, let's say. Another room. Wow, finding a lot of rooms. Okay, so and it's room type 6, which is exactly like this. So let's see how we're going to do that. Let's just draw it like this. And the reason being is that this passage might hook up with this one over here. So like these two seem like they may hook up. I went too far with that. Well, because we're kind of running into the wall over here, let's make this a secret door over here, actually. And then this kind of goes up here and may hook up back to that. Okay. All right, so let's see what type of room this is.